Okay, so the first video we've got is how to set up a landscape in the Unreal Engine. Okay, so I'm just firing up Unreal. I'm going to do this in real time so you can see exactly what's going on. Unreal's just starting up on my other monitor. And then first of all, you're going to be presented with probably something that looks like this. The project browser, where we can create a particular project, a type of project. Now, what I want to do is create a third-person project to begin with. I'm going to use this folder here. Yeah, and I've got some elements in here which we'll bring in later, but I've got a UE5 project here. And I'm going to create that project, and I'm going to call it Virtual Production. Okay, so no spaces. And I'm using camel case, so capital letters for each word, but no spaces, no strange symbols. Click on Create. That will go away and then it will pop back up. It's loading on my other screen. I'll drag it over when it's ready. It will take a while, but eventually it will pop up. There you go. And it will look like that. Okay, so this is the outliner. So this is everything we've got in this current scene at the moment. This is the details. Whatever we select, we've got the details here. I've got a content drawer at the bottom, which pops up. And I can dock it if I want, which I will do, I think. Just drag it down to the bottom, like so that it's constantly down there so I can constantly see it open. I've got starter content in here. I don't really need that. But we'll, you can start to begin with it. It's fine. Okay, so this is the content browser. These are my project folders. So this is the content. I'm going to put everything in there. I've got some characters, level creator, starter, third person, and stuff like that. Content is where we want to be. Now, I don't want to use this scene either. This is the default third person map. If I click on play here, I can run around using the arrow keys or the WSND spacebar to jump, so I can sort of prototype and test things. We'll escape from that. I can just using the arrow keys or again the WS and AD and then the right mouse button and the mouse to navigate and look around. So this is my scene so far. I'm going to create a completely new level and I want a complete empty level, like so. Now there's nothing in there at the moment. If we look at here, the viewport controls, yeah, I've got lit, unlit, it's completely empty, lit, I've got no lights in there whatsoever. But as we're doing block out, we're not really going to worry about putting in proper scene lighting. What we're going to do is use what's known as the environment light mixer here to create a standard lighting setup. So I'm going to create so this is my little window, create a skylight, create an atmospheric light, and you can see them being added into the scene. I'm going to create a sky atmosphere, create volumetric cloud, and then create height fog. Okay, so now I've got my environment lighting. Just drag that down. You might want to put that into a folder, so I'm just going to select, let's create a folder. I'm going to call it sky, and then just drag everything into there, like so. Next, we want to create a landscape. So up here, I've got my different modes. I'm going to create a landscape mode. Now I've got this panel here and this big green grid, which is where my landscape's going to create. I've got a couple of things. I can sculpt a landscape in Unreal, or I can use a second application to create a height map file, which is what I am going to do. But for this purpose, we'll just show you how this works. So we're going to create a landscape, and then I'm going to sculpt. So I've defaulted into the sculpt tools, and it's like a brush. You can see the brush tip. I can click and drag and create hills and landscapes. If I click on play, here we go. I can sculpt and create all of these different types of hills. Now, if your camera's moving too slow, you can speed it up and slow it down using those tools. Now, you can erase bits. You can smooth things out. You can flatten, put a flat top on there. You can create ramps, like so. Or we can create erosion. We can sort of put some noise into some of these elements. Noise, like so. You know, to try and make really sort of realistic looking landscapes. Incidentally, if we're sculpting and we raise something, if you press shift, it does the inverse, so it's the opposite of the tool. So you can do it that way, and it is quite an effective way. Oh, just speed up my camera, it's very slow. It's quite an effective way of creating different landscapes, but it's not going to look totally real. You know, and we tend to end up with an effect that looks like mashed potato mountains, which is not what we want. Okay, so escape that. Now, that map that we've just created, our location, we need to save it. So I'm going to go File, Save Current Level As. We've got New Map. I'm going to make sure it's right in the Content folder, and we'll call it Scene 1. Save. There we go. Okay, so that's it for video 1.